You do a scan there?
Yeah, I'm going to stop anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure I stop behind the white line. I only get 3 points.
Yeah, can you see it coming into your mirror there?
Oh no, to judge it, it's user experience.
Yeah, of course it is. And you got another one coming up?
Alright, checking my mirror.
Yep, excellent. You've done the scan there?
Oh yeah, normal traffic light check, isn't it? At the roundabout ahead, we're going to turn right, please.
And at the roundabout ahead, we're going to turn right. Just cancel your indicator there for me, if you could, please, Tony, for a moment. See what happened there? I think the gentleman's driving that car with you having your right indicator on. I think he thought you were turning in there. That's why he proceeded out there.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think you might have just popped that on a little bit too early. So, when do you, approaching a roundabout junction like this, when do you normally put your indicator on? How far away?
About 6-7 car lengths.
Yeah, that's good.
That was 6-7 car lengths.
But you know, your rule's right, you bang on with 6-7 car lengths, except for when, it's going to cause confusion to the road users, just like it did there, where exactly what happened to us. Because it's not always 6-7 car lengths. In your instance where you've got another turning, before you're turning...
Oh, that was for taxis only, though. I couldn't go in there, could I? Because I'm not a taxi.
Well, you know what? The guy who pulled out in front of you didn't know that.
Oh, right.
You know, so we've got to allow for other people's decisions and judgments. So yeah, it is 6-7 car lengths, but when there's no other turning, I've just spotted some zigzag lines there.
Checking my mirror.
Yep.
Scanning.
Excellent. So our people waiting to use it.
I read last night that press the button, a little red light comes on next to the button on those
yeah.
On those puffing crossings.
Yeah, so we'll probably see that when we're out and about this afternoon.
Yeah, I just saw it there. And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
And we'll take the next turning to the right. So you know where that, just back there when we put the indicator on a bit too early, we saw the beginning there of what the consequences are of putting it on too early. If the guy had flown out that parking spot he was in, assuming we were turning right,
yeah,
what could have happened there?
I could have hit him, couldn't I?
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, exactly. Could have been an accident there. You just popped your indicator on there for a second time to come out.
Just around them parked cars, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to indicate to come around parked cars.
Oh, I have done for the last 20 years.
You don't indicate out, you don't indicate back in. You just drive round. Yeah.
Well, because you say so.
No. You know, just before, where the guy flew out in front of us because he thought we were turning early, it's a little bit of a similar scenario. If we're indicating right to move around the cars, what might an oncoming vehicle think you're doing?
Moving around the cars.
What else could you possibly be doing? Could you not be turning into a driveway, maybe?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. And same for vehicles travelling behind you. If you're indicating right, they might think you're beginning to turn into a driveway.
Oh, I'll tell you what does happen quite often when I'm indicating around these parked cars.
Yeah.
I had somebody, there was a road on the right and I indicated around the parked car and the person pulled out of the road on the right in front of me.
Yeah.
I had to brake really hard.
Yeah.
But I gave him a good telling off.
You gave him a telling off?
Yeah.
So you're telling him the direction you're travelling in, and then so he makes a judgment call and you tell him off?
Yeah.
So you see, that's another good example there of why you don't indicate around parked cars. Because you know the thing is, imagine you're indicating around the parked cars.
Yeah.
There's a pedestrian 3 or 4 cars up. They think, oh, it's all right. He's pulling out. He's pulling into a driveway. I'll start crossing the road.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What could potentially happen there?
They cross in front of me, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. They've got their iPod blaring in their ears. They can't hear anything. They think that you're turning right into a driveway.
Yeah.
And you know, if you don't spot them.
But it's good to indicate to pull back in, isn't it?
Exactly the same things can occur. If you're travelling down, imagine these are all parked cars, you're travelling down, you're then going left.
Yeah.
You're indicating left. What does the person behind you think you might be doing?
Oh, he might think I'm parking, mightn't he?
You might think you're parking. you might think that you're...
And we're going to turn right.
You're going to turn right. You might think you're turning into a driveway. What might he do? If you think you're slowing down a park, what might he do?
Overtake me.
Yeah. Exactly. What might be the consequence of him overtaking you?
Well, I'm going to carry it straight on, so I'm probably going to hit him, isn't I?
Yeah. Or you might hit someone coming the other way.
And we're going to stop on the left here.
And we'll just stop on the left here, please, Tony.
So how did I do?
Yeah, look, I think you've definitely... I'm glad you came. I think you've picked up a bit there, haven't you, about the crossings? And
Yeah,
definitely about the indicators.
Yeah, there's only one thing I don't understand about the crossings.
Yeah, go on.
But my wife's helped me with it.
Your wife?
Yeah.
She's not helping you stop on the crossing, is she?
No, I think she's made an error there, and I'll tell her.
Great. So what's she helping you with?
Well, you know when you got pedestrians, you know the way they didder around, and
Yeah.
you never know what they're going to cross in front of you.
Yep.
So my wife said, just wave them across, get them out of the way, and then you can get on with it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good bit of advice.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question then. We're travelling up the road.
Yeah.
You're waving them people across the road.
Yeah.
So they think, oh, he's letting me cross. What's the person behind? What's their notification that you've allowed people to
Well,
walk
the
out in front of
pedestrian's
you?
always right back at me.
Always?
Yeah.
Right. What if the person behind you doesn't see you? Doesn't see them? Because they're watching you instead of watching the pedestrian. So you're going to slow down or even stop to let the pedestrians go. What's the person behind? What could potentially happen there?
Well, he'll stop behind me, won't he?
Well, he might. Well, he's not expecting you to stop. So what might you do?
I don't really know.
Well, you might run into the back of you. You're travelling down the road, you're slowing down or maybe even stopping to let people cross where they're not supposed to be crossing. The person behind you isn't expecting you to be crossing. There's no anticipation there for them. They can't see you waving. And it could be straight in the back of you.
I'll tell you what did happen. I don't know whether it's the same kind of thing that you're trying to get at. On the way over here this morning, I had a pedestrian and there was an old lady, and she didn't really know when to cross, so I waved her across.
Yeah.
And she waved back at me really nicely. But this bus coming towards us
Yeah.
had to brake really hard, and I thought he should have seen her really.
Should he have?
Yeah.
Why, was there a crossing there?
No.
All right. So this is something you've got to be wary of. You're giving her the green light to go ahead.
Yeah.
The people travelling in the direction have no idea that you've just allowed her to cross
Okay,
in front
we
of
ended
you.
there. Have a relax for a minute.
All right.
Yeah, so obviously I didn't get a chance to beckon pedestrians across.
Yep.
Because it just never happened.
Yep.
But I would have done.
Yep.
And why would I? I've done it.
Well, because it's part of people crossing the road.
Well, what did you... You got inside my head on the zigzag lines.
Yep.
You got inside my head about how I identify.
Yep.
You got inside my head about what do I check.
Yep.
You got inside my head about the different types of crossings.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever mention anything about it's important, you know, because of the level I'm at, would you invite pedestrians to cross?
Yeah, obviously I didn't address that.
No.
Yeah.
So if you don't address it, obviously he will actually play around with that.
So obviously you gave me a big lifeline there to bring it in, which is kind of why we.
Well,
covered it.
yeah. I mean, I have to give you a lifeline there because it hasn't actually. I didn't get the opportunity to do
Yeah.
it, and obviously, if I got the opportunity to do it, then you'd have to deal with it. But
I think if it actually happened on the drive, I think I would have dealt with it, but
so
because it didn't.
Just let me finish my whole sentence, to let you know what would happen if it did happen. So if I did get the opportunity to do it, obviously I've got to make sure it's a safe opportunity, or I could just do it behind the pillar, yeah?
Yeah.
Therefore, you'd have to deal with it afterwards. So you're not being proactive anymore. You're being what?
Reactive.
Reactive, yeah. Which makes your job a little bit harder, and it means your scores are going down a little bit lower, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So it was something that I'll be thinking about. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You handle the signals quite well. When we were coming out of the hotel car park, I did actually pop the signal on. They did cancel. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think we were sitting about 10 minutes at the lights, and obviously they were broken, so I didn't actually go through a red light there. I had no choice. You seem quite willing to just ignore the fact that the indicator had cancelled there.
At the hotel?
Yeah. I've done a left-hand turn where I made a boo-boo and turned into a dead-end road. And only then did you actually deal with it, because I let it cancel again, didn't I?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I should have been quicker on there and told you to put it back on straight away.
Well, no, you did tell me to put it back on straight away when I was waiting at the traffic lights coming out of the hotel.
Mm.
But what did you not do after that? What did you not ask me?
We didn't go through the consequences.
Yeah, you didn't check, did I know why it's important to put it back on again?
Yeah.
And you didn't check if I knew how it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fair enough.
That makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think you got into the crossings quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Safe havens are going to come up.
Yep. That's the name. I couldn't remember the bloody name.
It doesn't matter what you call them.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even think safe haven is actually a legal name for them, to be honest with you. It's just a place where pedestrians can actually cross to the middle.
Yeah.
And wait. Yeah.
Yep.
And providing they carry on waiting there, it's okay for me to proceed. But if they obviously step off it, I've got to stop them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You nailed me quite well in the mirrors. Had to push a bit on the zigzags.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very natural. You know, don't forget you've been out of the country quite a long time.
That's it, yeah.
And,
I had to kind of get the information right in my head.
Yeah, so zigzag lines, there's only two rules.
Parking.
Overtaking, yeah?
Yep.
I can overtake a cyclist, providing that cyclist is not stopped at the crossing to give way to pedestrians, yeah?
Yeah.
And the light control ones, there's two main types really. We've got the Puffin and the Pelican, yeah?
Yeah.
And the Puffin are the normal traffic light sequence. The Pelican is the...
You got the flashing amber.
Got a flashing amber, yeah?
Yeah.
So obviously it would be important to find out what the flashing amber means.
Yep.
Obviously I can stop on the crossing. I could have stopped well before the crossing.
Yeah.
And you'd be wondering, well, why the hell is he stopping well before the crossing?
Mm.
It may well have something to do with the fact that...
You don't know where to stop.
Not necessarily. Because you never brought it up about, you know, where do I stop?
Yeah.
I may well have stopped well before the crossing, and you'd be thinking, well, why is he stopping well before the crossing?
Mm.
And you may have said to me, you know, where should I stop? And I may have said to you, oh, I should stop at the stop line.
Yeah.
You know? But I may have been stopping well before, because I can't really stop on the crossing because I could end up with 3 points on my licence, couldn't I?
Yeah, of course.
But it took you a little bit of a
Yeah.
round about the houses about why it's important not to stop on the crossing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a partially sighted person. It's going to trip over the bonnet. Yeah.
Yep.
And but again, you know, if the opportunity's not there and it doesn't arise, then obviously it will be a lifeline.
Yeah.
But do you really need the lifelines? No. As we get into the subjects,
Yeah, we should be getting through it on the drive.
get inside my head and find out, you know, do I know why it's important to stop at the line?
Yeah.
And do I know why it's important not to stop on the crossing? Yeah.
What's the white line called again? What's the actual name for it? Or can I just refer to it as the white line?
Well, it's going to be a stop line at a
Stop
control
line.
crossing. It's going to be a giveaway line at a zebra crossing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the terminology right.
Anything to do with a traffic light is going to be a stop line.
Yeah.
It's going to be a solid line. Anything to do with because zebra crossings, if they're not being used, you don't have to stop.
Yep.
Therefore,
So it's giveaway.
They've got a giveaway line.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, it's quite good for a first time.
Yeah. No, I think I'll do it better the second time.
that was not bad the first time. Yeah, obviously you've done well on the signals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did signal way too early on approach to the roundabout.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I stuck it on there was that I saw that was that Focus that was parked on the right. He's actually picking the bus drivers up to take them back to the depot.
Oh, right, okay.
And I knew what he was going to do because obviously I see him do it every day.
Yeah.
He does a U-E there to take them back to the depot,
Yeah.
which is the opposite way. So it was an ideal opportunity there, and you picked on it really well. You got me to cancel the indicator.
Yeah.
And then you gave me the reasons why afterwards, and that was really good. I think it was spot on there.
Good.
Right, we'll give that a pause.
All right.